Welcome to Conversation 2019.
Hello everyone. Hi Elodie.
Hi.
Thank you for accepting our invitation today. Before we dig into the topic, a few words about you. You've been working for WSNCF for the past 10 years now. You are a digital strategist. So you have a pretty cool job because your job is to explore new trends, to see whether it fits your customers' expectation, of course, but also to create new usage. You've also created the Innovation Lab at WSNCF, which is a space where the people of the company can share ideas about immersive technologies, AI, machine learning, bots, and so on. We are here today to talk about voice interface. So, first of all, what are we talking about when we do voice interface in voice projects?
Well, from e-commerce to m-commerce, WSNCF has been present in each change in use, each revolution, and we are already jumping into conversational commerce. For many French people, we are the website they tried out new trends for the first time. And to really understand what is voice for us, we like to take a step back and look at the digital milestones we've been through. 2000, the internet revolution,
Wow.
and here we were. SNCF was kind of pioneer in launching Voyage SNCF at that time, at a moment where online market was only 1%, only 14% of French people had internet connection. And in 18 years, we have sold 1 billion train tickets, just 4 billion euros last year. And so we had this capacity to think against ourselves. We had shops at that time, but still developing a new website. And then the mobile revolution.
Yeah, and you launched your first e-commerce application, right?
Right,
2008?
correct. 2008, we were there, first e-commerce application. For many French people, the first time they paid on the phone was with us, enabling them also to travel without any piece of paper in their pocket, travel ticketless with just an M ticket. If we look at the numbers today, mobile is 78% of our traffic, 50% of our orders, and we have been downloaded 18 million times. So here again, we had this incredible capacity to innovate against ourselves. Our sales were going like this, but still we decided to go in competition with ourselves. And linked to our subject, we launched in 2015 a new voice command feature permitting our customers to fill in their online form with voice, just with the microphone. And since 2015, it's going very very rapidly. We entered in this conversational age that we call artificial intelligence age.
You talk about a revolution, a new conversational/digital era. What does this mean for WSNCF concretely?
For us, AI is really the tip of the artificial intelligence iceberg, and the promises are huge. We are not talking here about voice control. As I was mentioning before, we are really talking about a real dialogue. It's the perfect opportunity to have this unique relation we want to have with each of our customers. And when we talk about personal experience, we talk about personalization. And I mean, what's more personal than a conversation? Also, we are quite convinced that online forms are becoming obsolete, and that's why we took the challenge to pass from a transactional website to a more conversational brand. And our customers, they are multi-device, but they are also multi-channel. And for us, it's a good way to go outside on new channels, and not only on our proprietary channels. And the reach is already enormous. We all have our assistants in our pockets. 500 million for Siri and for Google Assistants. It's again the smart speakers, just 100 million sales for Amazon Alexa. And even if the usages are still limited, check the weather, listen to music, we are convinced that this is the beginning of the invisible assistants, that soon you will be able to talk to your assistant and book a train ticket from your fridge, from your car, from your television, and be assisted when you need it, whatever you want.
So we understand that we as SNCF got the mindset to follow these trends and to try new things, basically. But what were your deep motivation when launching this kind of project?
In each of this revolution, we did it, we were there because we anticipated it and we knew how to react quickly and agilely. And I think there are 3 reasons for this. The first reason is that we are a leader on our market, first e-commerce website with 4 billion sales. And it's really part of who we are, our DNA, to want to stay a leader, and we screen everything. And it's especially the job of the innovation department, of which I am a member. New trends, new technology, we ask ourselves about the possible use cases, and sometimes we fail, like the Google Glasses, but sometimes we succeed. And when we do, it's true that we like to be everywhere, like on mobile, for instance. We mentioned mobile era before. We were there, we had, of course, an app on iPhone and Android, but we were also there on the mobile Windows Phone, on BlackBerry. We had a mobile website, and maybe we can draw a parallel here between the 2 eras, the mobile era and the conversational one, because today the market is really concentrated in 2 players, and maybe the conversational will do so tomorrow. So if we look at the numbers today, it's still how to say, small. It's an emerging trend, but it's rising, and our customers are loyal. And so to share with you some key figures, it's 10,000 users per day that talk to us on all our conversational platforms, meaning our WeBoat, we saw just before, where you can perform from A to Z booking online, reservation, including payment, but also on all our conversation interfaces. It's just 50% of our traffic on our WeBoat.
And beyond the business ambitions and being the fact that you're a leader, I think that you got such an involvement that you have also invested in your own technological assets. Can you give us a few details about those great achievements on the tech side?
Yeah. Well, it's true that it's a strategic asset for us, and that's why we decided to bring it in-house. To give you a short story of how we got there. In 2014, we made a few first developments by a colleague of mine during an annual hackathon we host every year. The year after that, developments on our natural language processing platform. 2016, the explosion of the Facebook Messenger bots, and we did an experimentation on innovation team. It was a success, and so a big step in 2017, we decided to launch a dedicated team, a feature team, a dozen of persons, including a product owner, conversational UX, developers, and we worked hard on our natural language processing platform, which is available on open source, named TOCK, T-O-C-K, and meaning that regardless of the different experience we have, behind is the same bot answering and permit us to secure our data and have all this set up. So it's true that to sum up, we are really motivated because we do this to stay leader, as I told you, but we have also business ambitions, and we really want to be where our customers are in their ecosystem. That's why that's what we call ubiquity. And at last, it's also the experience. Voice is very powerful. It's 200 words a minute you can say versus 70 words you can type on a keyboard. So it's very powerful, it's simple, and it permits us to really realize our mission, which is to enable people to travel with simplicity and accessibility.
So we've got the intention, the ambition. Concretely, on which platform can we experiment it?
So a part of the three written experiences I mentioned before, so we put on our sites, Facebook Messenger, where you can do payments, and WhatsApp. We have 5 based experience. The first one is, the 2 first one are regarding voice control, meaning you just declench command something with your voice. We are on our app by voice command. 80,000 people each month use this feature, but also on Siri. You can say, Siri, show me my train ticket, or show me my travel information. And then there is the dialogue. We have 3 experiences on Amazon Alexa, Google Home and Google Assistant, and then will be released on the new Jingo Assistant, Orange new speaker, next summer.
What can we do? As a customer of WeSNCF, what can I do with a voice assistant?
So on voice, you can search for time and a price for a train travel. This is available on our Google Home speaker, Alexa, and on Jingo. What we do on Google Assistant is a more enhanced experience. Once you have found the perfect train ticket for you, the perfect train time and price, well, you can save that train for later, for paying later, put an option on it. Or for TGV Max subscribers that have a subscription, monthly subscription, they can go and purchase from A to Z.
And it's always more talking with a demo. Elodie, you came up with a video today. Let's watch it.
So before you ask me, because I know you're going to ask me the question, no, we cannot pay with voice right now, compared to the written experiences I mentioned before.
Right?
Yeah. When you try it out our vocal experiences, you will see that the choices are reduced. We did a lot of user tests in order to design our experiences at the time we developed our voice conversation. And I can share with you a few learnings. We have best practices. The first one is that I told you the voice is very powerful. It's 3 times faster, but the ear is very limited. And so when you see on our written conversations, 9 propositions displayed, it's only 2 we can really do with the voice, 2 pieces of information we give in, and then we guide our customers progressively in order not to get lost, The second one is that we couldn't remember the the exact same time. And it was hard for the teams because we really like to be precise. So instead of 8:27, it's about 8:30, for instance. And the last thing is that if you ask for a train after 7 a.m., well, we will also search 15 minutes before in order for you to check if there is not a train just before, or because we are human, we like to make a decision. Well, we can give you 2 options in order for you to choose the better option for you.
So we've seen here there is a screen, but with voice, for example, Google Assistant, your brand evolves in a words-only environment, which means no logo, no real DNA, or maybe you're going to explain us. So how do you handle this? How do you manage this marketing challenge?
Well, we are still exploring at that stage, so we deal with it with humility, but still I can share with you some where we are right now. So regarding this, sometimes we do not have the choice on the voice, but sometimes we do. So we like to work with the big players to choose. The biggest thing here is that there is no logo, so your brand must be identifiable by voice. And we have an example that is possible. I think maybe you know Simone. Maybe
I do, but who's Simone?
Maybe a lot of French people know Simone. Simone is the woman talking in our train stations, announcing the platform. And I think that many people recognize her. She's retired now, but still her voice has been synthesized with a startup named Voxygen.
She's within Google Assistant, right?
Not yet, but she could be. And it's not only about the voice, it's also about personality, identity. You can create the quality of the conversation, the relevance. Like a friend, for instance, if you have a friend that disguises his voice, well, you'll be able to recognize him through expressions, its personality, and same goes for brands. So there is a huge work here to do. To share with you an example we had, we deal with the choose between the formal vous and the tu for you in French. We are currently using the vous, formal vous, for customer relation and social networks, but we decided to use the tu for both, especially because we went live on Facebook Messenger at first, where young people were present. And today we are questioning again that question, especially because our Webot we saw is on our website. So, and maybe the right answer to that would be tomorrow, personalization. Maybe everybody could choose what they want. And at the end of the day, regarding the brand, I think the main thing here is to start the reflex, because at the end of the day, people will have to say, okay, Google, talk with SNCF, and so we have to do everything in our power in order to make them say that.
Sure. How do you communicate about this experience?
Well, we like to communicate. It's a nice subject, so people like to talk about it, and it's good to communicate also to bring traffic to your experiences and for your chatbot and voice experiences to learn, natural language processing platform to learn. I can show you an e-affiche. It's a partnership we did with JCDecaux, and we displayed in train station for our 1-year anniversary, also displayed in Vivatech last week. It's an interactive way to talk with your boat. You can search for your train and then just flash with your camera and pay on your phone. And it was really a hit. 300,000 people interacted at the conversation with him in train stations, and as many smiles because our boat is really funny and people likes to make jokes with him.
Okay, so that was a success, right?
Yeah.
And more globally, how do you democratize this kind of experience
We
within your company, but also to the public?
Yeah, we democratize by co-creating mainly with the ecosystem I mentioned before, the big players, but also with our employees, our startups, and our customers. Regarding the employees, we work in agile teams. We have 15 agile teams, feature teams. One of them is the conversational one. We have this culture of test and learn. We organize an annual hackathon, 240 participants last year, 40 projects, and it's really a way of testing and learning on new projects, on chatbots and voice experiences. People are really our best assets. We have the Innovation Lab, you mentioned at first, 20 workshops per year. And I think it's also important to acculturate. We acculturate a lot, especially in our designers team, on how to design a conversational first experience. And we also acculturate with new talents, new competency, like the UX writer. We have a copywriter in our feature team.
What is a UX writer?
So a UX writer is the person in charge of finding the perfect word, perfect way to say something, different ways to express the same meaning, and it's very key competency on vocal. We also work with startups. We have a Willing Accelerator. Launched 3 years ago, already 19 startups accelerated, some of them on chatbots. We also work daily with 20 startups like Acmeon, Content Square, or Askub on conversational UX. And then our customers, it's key, we love to work with our customers. We have a platform named WeTalk. 11,000 members have subscribed, and so we contact them on the platform to exchange on ideas, projects, innovation, but also we do about 10 workshops a year with them.
So you invite your customers in your office and you run tests, right?
Totally, yeah, and we work with them, they love that. And it's also for us a way to put words behind our data. We have also a lot of data we analyze, 350,000 verbatims per month, even more soon, because we will also do speech-to-text with our Allomedia startups in order to also put in text our conversations from customer relation. And we, of course, we do A/B tests and studies to really understand what's behind the numbers and the data we analyze to see if the trends are changing. And I came today with a study, results of a study we did lately. We asked our customers, what is the one thing that would make your life easier as a customer? So the key question. And linked to our subject, 45% of our customers said, I want immediate answer, personalized answer. And 42% be able to contact the company online or by phone 20 hours, 7 days. So we really see here that conversation is responding to those two demands, and that also reassure us that we are in the good way.
We've probably got people here listening to us who are wondering or have wondered to launch this kind of project related to voice. What advice would you give them to make it a real success, to bring them value?
Well, the biggest advice we could give is to start with a very simple use case, to start with a simple parameter, but make a try. Find in your offer or in your service that you do the perfect combination with what voice permits. When we started on Facebook Messenger, in 2016, we were not there at all. We were there with just a very small perimeter. You could search for TGV, very specific conditions. And here we are. You can already book and pay from A to Z. You can be linked to your customer account. You can be put in contact with a real-life customer advisor. You can also put alerts to find low prices or book your TGV Max tickets. And you can even have your platform number announced 20 minutes before. So really find this very first use case, a use case to try on, and some questions you can ask yourself to find it. Could be, for instance, for my customer, what could be easier for them to say rather than write? How could I cut off all the search work? For instance, our user, they can say, what's the cheapest price for that day, that destination? And we do all the calculation, all the work. So try to really lower the cognitive effort they have to make. And at the end of the day, you also have to accept that your brand and mainly your logo will disappear on your voice conversation.
Okay, I hope they got to Simon as well. What are we looking at tomorrow, Elodie? Can you share with us the next experiment or your biggest challenge?
Tomorrow's challenges, well, to come back on the brand, challenges, I think we need to really create a brand relationship with our customers. We are currently also assessing that topic right now, but create emotion, a voice, really personality and personal conversation. Also, a second challenge for tomorrow is the new generation of smart speakers displayed in Vivatech last week. I brought some pictures displayed in Vivatech last week. You could see this new generation where the voice is complementary to the screen. You can really mount the simplicity and capacity of the voice to be very quick, but also the screen to analyze information very quickly. And the interaction, because it's tactile, so you can interact with your finger. So we believe really in that new generation. Here it's Lenovo Smart Display, in Google's stand in Vivatech, but you also have a Facebook portal announced at the F8, and Google Nest released this week by Google. The third challenge for tomorrow will be this unique relation we will have, and maybe going further on that, on prediction. As the perfect assistants, we could really go and detect intentions of a travel, detect intentions and answer to questions without people having to ask them maybe. So really work on those fields. But still, I think the major challenge we are all facing for tomorrow is, and it's a core subject, is trust. We have seen that trust is a key core subject in all the latest tech conferences. And I think we are particularly well armed in SNCF as we have been a trusted brand since 80 years.
Thank you very much, Elodie, for the richness of our conversation.
Thank you.
We can't wait to test your next experiments, share them with us, and we have with a little break, I think. Thank you.
Thank you.